Hi all. A lot of you have been writing me. I've had a lot of requests about the situation down here in Texas. I'm sorry, I've got some problems with my throat, but we'll see what goes of that, and how bad it is, and um, you know, it's just less than, well, a little bit more than 2 years ago that I went through Harvey and lost everything. My home, all my possessions, and a lot of people have been writing, and I appreciate that. I thank you for that. Um, what has happened now with it's Amela or whatever her name is. I don't know. These storms, I can't pronounce all their names, but and I'm sure you've been hearing that by the news media, this is pretty bad down here. Well, I'm not much for the news media, but they are correct about that. This thing hit and dumped, just like Harvey, a tremendous amount of rain. The good thing was my house was not flooded this time, although I'm not in my house right now. It didn't flood, but it could have, very much so, with the amount of rain that most places got. Now, they talked a lot about Beaumont, Texas, and Hampshire, Fannett, Texas, and Winnie, Texas. These are cities that are less than around 15 miles from here. So you see how close all this came to us just as well. Basically, what we got in Harvey, they receive now, more than anything in the world. Just to give you some totals, Winnie, Texas, Hampshire, Fannett, these are small towns, probably less than 10 minutes from me. In a 24-hour period, received as much as 30 inches of rain. And all Winnie, Texas received 40 inches of rain altogether. And Beaumont, Texas received about 25 inches of rain, which it wasn't so much with this situation here. Harvey dumped close to 55 to 60 inches of rain, but it did it in 3 days. This storm dumped 30 inches of rain in 24 hours. And that is the problem that we ran into more than anything in the world. A lot of people that I know, a lot of my friends, they were flooded. It's just really hard for us to believe that, we were told this was Harvey was a 400-year flood and it would never happen again in a long time. But unfortunately, and please, let's not get into climate change and all that garbage, okay? It just happened. And when you live on the coast like this can happen. I'm almost 70 years old, and I've been through Carla and other places, and I've seen the flooding and everything like that. But it is unusual in a little over 2 years that we have this flooding the way it is. So we used to think hurricanes are bad, but it looks like tropical storms now are even worse. And I think one of the things is the fact that a tropical storm, once it gets over the Gulf, it just keeps pulling moisture from the Gulf. Where it goes inland, it doesn't have any place to pull the moisture from. But we're right on the Gulf itself, where I live. Most of you know I am from Texas. I live in a place called Groves, Texas. And it is about 10 minutes from Beaumont. And we're right on the coast. We're right on the coast between Louisiana and Texas. I mean, we're not that far from the very northern part of the coast. And the real problem that we had down here, I mean, of course, there are hundreds and hundreds of homes that have flooded. It flooded so bad that it shut Interstate 10 down between Louisiana and Houston. Actually, it was between Beaumont, Texas and Houston, halfway. And so I-10 being shut down, this place became an absolute parking lot. And now even today, they're diverting traffic another way to Houston. And if you ever know anything about I-10, the trucks and everything like that, it's unbelievable what it takes now. I-10 is now open, but they're having to reroute traffic. And we still got water where Winnie, Texas is, where Winnie kind of, if you get on the map, where Winnie intersects with Interstate 10. My brother was been down here for 5 days. He lives in Baytown, Texas, which is right outside of Houston. And it took him close to 4 or 5 days to even get back to Baytown. And he just texted me a while ago and said that Baytown is an absolute mess. Houston is an absolute mess over there. Houston got a lot of water, I mean, same thing. But what really hurt was, and y'all, if you were watching the weather, you saw this, there is a San Jacinto bridge that goes over Houston, goes into Houston from Baytown on I-10, and a barge broke loose, and they just got finished taking care of this bridge. A barge had hit it before, they just got repairing it and tore it up again. And so now they're having to reroute all traffic around Baytown, Texas, and down Highway 90 going to, and I'm spouting these things out, and I know you don't know where they are, but it's a mess. It's a mess right now. It's a terrible mess down here. Rescues have been going on. People have been still out of their homes. It's really hard to understand what it's like to be out of your home, have no home, have to go live somewhere, and whatever it is. And of course, everybody knows in my situation, it's been almost over a year and 4 months now. I've been battling the insurance companies in federal and court over paying me what I deserve to fix my house. Then you have to contend with that. A lot of people don't know that. It's for those of you that have never gone through anything like this, and I know a lot of you haven't. Like my neighborhood, until you actually see a neighborhood where everyone is flooded, and you look down that neighborhood and people who had 20, 30, 40 years of possessions are out in the street waiting for the trash to pick it up. That's almost an unbelievable. It's like, it looks like a war zone. And that's what they're showing now in Beaumont and Finette and other places like that. So a lot of people have said that this thing was worse than Harvey. I don't necessarily think it was worse than Harvey, but it's just a lot of people that weren't flooded last time got flooded this time. And to them, it's worse than Harvey, because when you lose your home, it's a terrible thing. Now, let's be honest with our folks. When we live on the coast like this, you're going to expect hurricanes, you're going to expect these things. We just didn't expect it so soon. And really, the only way you can do, unless you work down here or whatever, is to get your stuff and go. Move somewhere else, and that's it. Of course, I have a 92-year-old mother that I'm taking care of down here. But I think if anything happens to her, I will leave. At my age now, I'm getting tired of, trying to start over again, and I have some health problems as well. But yes, do please pray for these people down here. A lot of these people, this is the second time. A lot of them just got back in their house from Harvey and have lost their house again. And I don't know, that's just absolutely unbelievable. That you would, within over 2 years, you have lost your house twice. I mean, but that's exactly what happened to a lot of people, because a lot of people that were flooded in Winnie, places like that, have lost their homes again. And it's just traumatic more than anything in the world. But I couldn't answer everybody's letters and messages from YouTube. about the situation down here. So I just thought I'd make a video and tell you. It's a very dire situation. We are, I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. If I would have gotten water in my house, I mean, there was nothing in my house right now except, well, it's a bare house right now. But there are so many people, my neighbor, they just got through redoing their house and even rebuilding onto it. And they had some issues. But a very good friend of mine who lives on the bayou out there, Taylor's Bayou, this is the second time after 2 years. It happened to again. In fact, he told me this time it was worse than it was in Harvey. So to know that these two things have come that quickly, it's really strange. But it can happen when you live down here. So I just wanted to fill you in on I didn't want you to, because you get so many, even the news, they get so many things and they marginalize things and they hype up things and whatever it is. But this has been a tragedy for the people down here, and it's been a tough problem for everyone. And it looks like a lot of people are starting over again and having to go back what they did 2 years ago after recovering from it. And I don't know how long you can take that. I'm telling you, that's pretty rough to take that. And a lot of people, I don't know what's going to happen to them in that sense. A lot of people have told me they're going to move to higher ground, they're going to do whatever. But that's pretty serious. So that's the situation down here. We have a lot of road blockage still. I-10 is still not completely open for people to travel. The traffic is horrendous in most of these areas. So I'm just saying, but then between here and Houston, it's the same thing. The same exact thing. So anyway, God bless you now, and just pray for us, and basically we'll be helping a lot rebuild, try to get their lives back together. Some people had flood insurance, but a lot of people didn't last time, so I don't know. This is pretty unusual. So God bless you now, and I'll try to make another video of carving and stuff. But right now, things are just really chaotic and hectic, and just a town, 10-15 minutes from me right here. Actually, it's 10 minutes from me. Beaumont is. It's massive traffic jams and massive problems. Vidor, Texas, got destroyed last time once again. God bless you now, and I just wanted to give you the truth of what's going on down here. So that'll answer a lot of your questions. I appreciate it. God bless.